Hey fellow Gallantians, for those of you who have been craving a live stream because I have not been live streaming on YouTube, I am now starting to live stream on Twitch. So yeah, there I'll be answering questions and doing a little bit of a workout in my garage or whatever. So yeah, make sure you follow me under the name Natural Gallant on Twitch, and yeah, you can tune in. So make sure you follow me on there, and therefore you'll get the notification in your email when I go live. Alright then, thanks for listening to my little monologue here. Mountain.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Gallant Bodybuilding. Mountain. And today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a comment that was made in the comment section of one of my videos. And this video was a video of why I don't perform hack squats and why I find they don't work for me. Now, of course, I've always said that hack squats don't work for me because of the way I'm built. Long femurs is one part of it, but the long femur to tibia ratio plays a role. But there are a lot of other factors, I'm sure, as well, such as insertion points of the quadriceps, such as when does the hamstring activate in my specific biomechanics as opposed to, say, somebody else, because the hamstring needs to activate in order to protect the knee. But that aside, I had somebody come in and say, Jason, have you tried your... So that aside, I had somebody come into my comment section and say something extremely simple, which wasn't rude at first. It was just a reasonable sort of question. They just said, Jason, have you tried switching up your foot positioning, such as turning your toes outwards on the hack squat? Such as turning such as externally rotating your feet on the hack squat and see if that helps your knees, and if you notice that there's less pressure on your knees from that. And I just replied and I said, listen, I've been doing this for 30 years. Of course I tried something as simple as that. I mean, changing your foot position during a leg exercise is pretty much bodybuilding kindergarten, right? That's the first thing you would do. You would switch your positioning around and find out if there's the right position for you or not. And yeah, that's pretty much just bodybuilding 101. I mean, that's one of the first things you learn is to change your grip when you're bench pressing. If you're noticing shoulder pain, well then narrow your grip or widen your grip or find out if your grip is correct. I mean, this is pretty much a standard sort of thing that people discover when they're beginners. So yes, of course, I've tried all different foot positionings, feet high on the pad, feet wide, you know, all this kind of stuff to see if my knees felt good doing hack squats doing this. And of course, I got no positive result from it. I just was not built for that exercise. It just put too much pressure on the knees and it was not advantageous for me. So after sharing this with this person says, no, you never adjusted your feet. This works for some other YouTuber, you know, that they know or whatever. That's, let's just say his natural status is questionable. Then he went on to say, you didn't change your foot position because, yeah, it should have worked because it works for this guy on YouTube. Well, congratulations, you made it to
Stupid Comments Saturday.
So of course the reason why this comment is stupid on the highest level, first and foremost, is that this comment is saying, I reject your experience. What you noticed with your own body during your own experiments is totally wrong. And if you say you tried a certain technique, I'm going to say, no, you didn't. I mean, what kind of conversation is that, first of all? I mean, it's not even a conversation. That's just you in denial of anything that I say. So that's just trolling for the sake of trolling. You're not even asking what I tried and having a normal conversation like two human beings. I mean, you should sign up for Antifa. You'd fit right in. So another thing this person said, which was really stupid, they said, your femurs are the same length as this other YouTubers, so you should have no problem with hack squats. You just are doing it wrong. Well, I had no idea that you're the femur fairy and that you sneak into people's bedrooms at night and measure the exact length of their femur. Second of all, I didn't realize that you are so amazingly aware that you can tell the exact length of somebody's femur just by seeing them in a video, not even beside another person, but just through watching them in a YouTube video. You know the exact length. And even further, you know exactly where all the muscular insertion points are without the use of an MRI. You're like Superman. You have like X-ray eyes. You can tell exactly where the tendon insertions are, exactly what the history is of a human being too. To know the injury history, to know the biomechanics that are at work, everything, all just from watching them in a YouTube video. Man, you're like the Stephen Hawking of natural bodybuilding. Way to go.
Thank you.
Look, oh yeah, there you go. Cool.
Such a nice man.
No, I just wanted a chance to hit the ball. Honestly, this video is hard to make because I don't even know where to start with the stupidity. But this is the very thing that goes on inside a lot of bodybuilders as well, where they discount their own experience. So this man is coming along and basically showing in a personality point of view how you discount your own internal experience, how you discount your own experience when you are conducting your own experiments. Because how many times have you done an exercise and you're like, ow, 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 oh, but this is the way it's supposed to be done, so the ow can't be telling me the truth. I must do this exercise the same way that I read in a book or saw somebody do it as, and yet you are feeling something wrong with the exercise. It's gonna be a great shot. A great shot, you just jump. Make sure you keep focus on me as you're going, and then throw the camera. That's gonna be an epic shot right there. Okay, epic shot. Okay, now cut. I want a separate clip. I don't want this as proof. I want to erase this clip. I don't want anybody to know what happened to you. You are actually experiencing pain. You're experiencing something negative happening from the exercise, but yet you continue to do it, and therefore you are discounting your own experience. This is the thing you don't want to do. By discounting your own experience, this can be a very dangerous contract, because what happens is that there are a lot of different variables that go on in your body. Like, for instance, this dude who made the dumb comment says, Jason, your femurs are exactly the same length as another person's. First of all, he has no way of confirming this suspicion of his. Second of all, it's not just the length of one lever arm, but there's a lot of other variables involved, such as the ratio of lever arms that are going on. Also, such as what's going on in the foot of a human being. One person might have flat feet, another person has a natural arch that's happening. That can also change how the forces are playing out on a joint. And of course, muscular insertions, and of course, proprioception. When or what muscle is firing at what time based on the muscle insertions and based on where the muscles are attached, especially in a compound movement. Some people's hamstrings attach in a different spot than in others, and just a little bit of a difference in where that attachment is will change when that muscle fires most effectively to protect the knee or not. So there are a lot of other factors that go into this, and some of those factors are not in your realm of awareness at this time. And that's what I'm always saying. There's a lot of times things that are going on in your body that you are not aware of, but you are aware of the pain. And even though you don't know why the pain's happening, you know that when you do this particular thing, you get this particular pain. So the first thing you can do without becoming a muscular genius is just change what you're doing slightly. Adjust the range of motion, adjust the rep range, adjust the angle of attack, or adjust the exercise altogether. These are the first things you should look at rather than just doing the same thing over and over again, even though it's causing you pain. That's the biggest mistake 90% of people make, which is why I had a guy just actually contact me on Instagram. I mean, I did a consultation with him a few years ago, and I told him to do certain things when it comes down to squatting, certain things when it comes down to his exercises, because he was noticing a certain result. And I said, change this, change this, change this. And he said, well, that's not what I read everywhere else, and that's not what the guys on Instagram are doing. So I said, no, just do this, because this seems to be more in resonance with your body, because right now, the way you're squatting, your lower back is hitting fatigue long before your legs, and that's why your legs are not growing. Well, guess what? He adjusted his range of motion, adjusted the tension, basically changed it to constant tension rather than resting on the joints, and then bang, he got results. He's got the best results he's ever gotten in his life. And this is an educated man. We're not talking about some guy that is brain dead. We're talking about a man that's highly educated that then just started to trust his own experiences and dance with those experiences. And that's how he got the results. This is what this game's about. And yeah, this is why I have absolutely no patience for these idiots on the internet that come along and say, Jason, you've never bench pressed before. And then I say, I've been bench pressing for like 30 something years. And they're like, no, you haven't. I'm like, what is this, preschool? I mean, preschool kids have better conversations and more intelligent conversations than this. And honestly, anybody that approaches you with this type of conversation should be ashamed of themselves for the lack of intellect that they have. But you know what? They make great Stupid Comment Saturdays videos. But let's face it, there's a lot of dumb people in the world, a lot of people that have been taught to discount their own experience. Therefore, then they take it further and discount the experiences of other people. So it's kind of like an abused person. A person who's been abused will have a tendency to abuse other people because they think that's reasonable. I'm here to say no. Stop abusing yourself. Stop abusing other people. You don't need to do it. Just trust your own experience. And if it's different than someone else's, that's okay, right? I'm the one freeing you. Don't fight against me. I'm the one freeing you. But instead, I open up the cage to your prison and then you stab me in the back. What's the point of that, right? All you do is end up back in your cage. If you want to be free from the cage, if you want to be able to live on the mountain, then you have to trust your own experience. You have to deepen your experience as well and be open to new experiences, but don't discount your own experience, especially when it's showing you something negative is going on. like you are experiencing extreme joint pain or extreme problems with your body based on just following one path and not diverting. Right now, I'm in a pathway where it bifurcates, goes into two different directions. You can take one direction or you can take the other direction. You don't always have to travel down the exact same way. Sometimes you need to take breaks in the direction that you're going and try something new, especially when there's a huge monster in the path in front of you. The monster kind of looks like this. If there's a monster in your path, just take a different path, you know? The monster of pain, the monster of joint injury, the monster of problems with your body, right? You have to adapt. Adapt, evolve, or die. That's just the way this is. And any of you guys that has reached into training for longer than 10 or 15 or 20 years knows that I'm speaking the truth here. It's only the people who've been training just a few months or a few years who have this immortality complex where they believe that everything is also always the same and that I've got it all figured out. I've got it all figured out because, you know, I've done a couple sets and I got some results from that and I've got my newbie gains, right? So the rules of this game change as you go along the path because your body's always changing. So the only way to really know where the center point is, the only way to really know where to go on this path is to trust your experience and let your experience guide you. So yeah, stop discounting my experience and other people's experience, and therefore you will stop discounting your own and make more gains in the long run. I hope this helps you out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. If you need to get hold of me, just go to naturalgallantbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the patient supporters, and take care for now. Mountain.
Can I get